Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short, little unboxing video to share with you guys. Not a review, just a first impressions video. Today we have a brand new knife from WE. Now I'm always excited to open up a WE knife because they tend to be very spectacular. On the flip side, they also kind of hit or miss with their pricing. Some stuff seems to be needlessly expensive, while other stuff is inexplicably perfectly priced. I mean, this, the premium stuff kind of goes up or down, but I'll be fair about it. I'll let you guys know. I want you to know, when it's available, which is February 27th of 2025. I haven't actually opened this up yet, but I'll have it linked down in the description. I'm probably releasing this video on or near that date. So you can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel and use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to WE for sending this in. Let's see what we've got. Oh, good. We have the little sheet here. I'm going to save that. I don't want to look at the price just yet, mainly because I don't want to be bummed out. This is called WE Zenthra, which may or may not be a real word. I'm not familiar with that word, but maybe it's real. So, yeah, it looks like carbon fiber and a bunch of gray. That's my favorite kind of aesthetic. I do like that boring stuff. But then again, I also like the colorful stuff. When it comes to WE knives, though, their colorful stuff tends to be kind of weird. So, I don't know. Maybe that's unfair to say. This doesn't feel massively heavy. Oh, it is. It's definitely what I'd call a full-size knife. Okay. All right, cool. Not too crazy. Pretty straightforward. I don't like the flat carbon fiber. I don't like it doesn't look good to me. Is this flat? Yeah, it's flat. So what I mean, when it's flat, carbon fiber just looks cheap. When it's contoured, right, and it kind of spreads out a little bit, it looks a lot better. You can tell me what you think, right? It's real carbon fiber. It's just when it's flat like this, especially, I don't know what it is about the budget companies, but they love to polish that stuff, and that makes it look super cheap. Super cheap. Flat polished carbon fiber. This is flat, kind of matte carbon fiber, so I appreciate they didn't polish it, right? I like the steps here. What I assume is a separate pivot collar. Looks kind of cool. Very basic, straightforward pocket clip. We have like full-on doorknob thumb studs. They do actually look cool. There's just no texturing. Let's see how they work. Okay, yeah, very easy, actually. I was not expecting a Wharncliffe blade. Not at all. This is a nested... No, it's not. The frame lock just goes way underneath here. And it is almost certainly going to have a steel lock bar insert. Let's take a look here. Yep, there it is right there, steel lock bar insert. It's kind of neat how that tips or kind of tucks underneath the carbon fiber. Very, very smooth. Doesn't look like it, but it is. It's not like that typical kind of, like 2017 through 2021, 2022, where like every new WE knife was unnecessarily tight. Like it was just ridiculous. But yeah, this feels pretty good. It's really straightforward. There's nothing super duper crazy going on here. I would hope and assume that this is going to be on the much more reasonable side of how they price their stuff. So let's open up this paper and take a look here. I'm having trouble opening it up. I'm glad you guys couldn't see that. That was a very stupid move there. So this is M390 and their typical 5961. Really wish that they would bump that up, but they won't. Okay, price is not as low as I'd want it to be, but I got to make this point. For those of you who run to the WE website or anybody, it doesn't matter if it's whoever is making the knife. There's a small percentage of the population who runs to the manufacturer's site. They look at the MSRP and they freak out. Nobody is selling these knives at MSRP. This is the whole rest of the world knows to ignore that. The MSRP means nothing. It's just the starting point, right? And then everybody, retail, sites, they all come down to the rational price point, which the manufacturer knows. So they end up with two on these pieces of paper that they send us, MSRP and MAP. Again, MSRP, it could be anything. They could put $5,000 on there. It doesn't matter, right? But I know people are like, MSRP is $327. Ah! Like, there's no reason to freak out, right? Now, MAP being $277.95, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Listen, this is super straightforward. There's no contouring. There's no backspacer. We have a milled clip, but a super basic milled clip. We have ho-hum heat-treated M390 with very, very simple finishes on the blade. Now, WE Knives is capable of producing awesome stuff in the low 200s, like that new Sneck Super Lock that they charged, what, $225 for? That's right around what this should cost, just a little over $200. We have WE's direct competitors, Artisan Cutlery, pumping out $200 to $220 knives in that territory. We have Kaiser making excellent stuff in that territory. We have Miguron making essentially the same type of stuff in that same territory, right? So $277 is kind of slapping that WE tax on there. They're just kind of like, yeah, but it's a WE knife. Like, yeah, you guys do tend to make things a little bit nicer and you make things a little bit, feel a little bit better. But at the same time, the prices are just not, like $277 for me, at least you can tell me what you think. It's not tantalizing for this, right? This is a cool looking knife, but it's not doing anything special. It's not doing anything that's going to, outside of being talked about on my channel and other channels, right? It's not really doing anything that's going to make people, the majority of people go, oh, wow, I have to have that. I got to spend $277 on it. 200 to 225, yeah, probably 225. Maybe 230 max is where I'd put it. So you could look at that price and say, well, okay, so it's 50 up from where MC wants it to be, right? And for some people, that might be worth it to you. First impressions, nice knife, plenty ergonomic, no spot for lefties, and no, because it's nested into the carbon fiber. Easy access. It's good on the thumb studs. It's good on the flipper. Honestly, feels like a good utilitarian knife. But you're going to have to pay, right? If you reduce it to materials, right? That's one thing. But also the execution of said materials. I mean, how costly is it to create something like this with these materials in China, right? Some people are going to say it should cost $50, and those people don't know what they're talking about. But realistically, yeah, landing at the 2 to 225 mark, which is what we typically see for stuff like this, that'd be more fair. So yeah, it's really going to come down to personal preference. Are you willing to overpay for something like this? That's my honest take, first impressions wise. But like everything, I will carry it and I'll give it a full review. I don't think there's not really anything too complicated going on here, so I very much doubt my opinion's going to change. But it has in the past. Overall length is coming in at 8 inches. Blade length is 3.5. Cutting edge is a little over 3.25. So pretty typical full-size measurements. Weight, just do it real quick here and then move on. 3.6 ounces, pretty good. About perfect ratios there, and it is nicely balanced with the center balance point being right where you're going to have your index fingers. So yeah, functionally it's totally fine, right? It's just not quite at that 200 and what I expect to see at 277 is just a little bit more, And I told you guys, and it's not like when I pointed it out, I was the first person to know. We're gonna see, not just we're gonna see everybody start moving their prices up, and in some situations there will be forced hands, but in other situations, other companies' hands might not be as forced, but they'll take an opportunity to do it. Now, I'm not saying WE is doing anything evil here. What I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, or what it comes down to is whether or not you are willing to spend your money on this stuff. And the blockade or the wall that will eventually be created is, we'll get to a point where it's like, sorry that it costs you more to make it. We're not willing to buy it. I'm not going to try and speak for everybody, but that's what's going to happen, right? And when that happens, you end up with more fierce competition, right? So spend your money on what you believe is valuable to you. I'll continue to give you my honest thoughts of when things are creeping up a little bit too high for me to be comfortable with it. And hopefully the end result is that companies, especially a lot of these Chinese companies, they start to get hyper competitive, and create more stuff at more reasonable price tags. But anyways, I'm not saying this knife is bad. I just don't love the price tag, which is, that's been happening a lot here with WE knives. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's first impressions. Cool knife, not anything special. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, Leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on the Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.